Yeah, that's love, bro.
Yeah, man, and just to see like your journey is like super inspiring, and that's why I thought it was super important to have you on the show because you've had such an interesting path, right? Like it started out with this like, I mean, now I know even more, right? It started out with construction and like having the injury and then moving into the fitness space and coming from the true boxing world, right? And dealing with your own, imposter syndromes and
still deal with it.
Still deal with it. And I
Even
think
in relationships, dude, I'd be like, man, you sure you want to date me? I don't know. I ain't shit.
oh man, it's so I think the way I want to just kind of bring this home, man, is just kind of let you just give any advice you can, man. You like myself, we traveled, we taught coaches, we've helped onboard coaches. So if there was like 3 pieces of advice, like just concrete advice for that next potential AJ still coming up, you know what I'm saying? Like what is it?
Put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to upload a video to social media. Don't be afraid to audition for a concept that you might not even be ready for. Just be a part of the community in that aspect. So you gotta show up. You can't just be in your living room like, twiddling your thumbs like, yeah, I want to do that. I know people to this day that are clients that are like, oh yeah, I got my NASM, and I'm like, okay, like what are you gonna do with it?
Right.
You got to show up. You got to do something.
Got to execute.
Yeah. So you got to be a part of the community and actually try it. And you got to, everybody here knows whether you're auditioning as an actor or you're going in for a job in tech and you're like, you're interviewing with a bunch of other people with the same degree you got and maybe more experience. You got to be there and be at the interview, right? Yeah. You can't just like, no, I want to get the job and like not email nobody, not
don't
outreach.
Close the door for yourself.
You feel me? So you got to show up. And so like for me, that was just being in the gym.
Right.
Be in the gym, take every workout, or especially the ones that you want to teach, whether it's yoga, the modality is spin, whether the modality is hit. Be at the gym for the trainers that you aspire to be like if you want to be a trainer, and do those workouts.
Right.
Because then from a client's perspective, you can understand, hey, there's a certain reason why I take certain instructors and I have favorite instructors, and you're not the only one.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Like if you have a favorite instructor, it's likely that multiple others have that favorite instructor too. It's for a reason.
Yeah.
And if you want to aspire to be like that, take the workout, do the workout, show up often, and be the product that, you aspire to be like, and that the company, if they had to be like, yo, this is a star client that we want to put on an ad, like this is the before and afters, be the before and after.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I guess that's one piece of advice. Second piece of advice would be to get educated.
Right.
Like the more you know, the better. And then third, I would say, I think I touched on it earlier, is be humble, because there's going to be a moment where you got to transition from either doing, what you started in, whether it been years or months, and transition to doing something new, whether it's digital, whether it's group, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's a completely new concept. You have to really like be humble in that you're not an expert in this.
Yeah.
And,
don't be afraid to be the new guy or girl. Right?
Yeah, or even like as far as like if you're training like serious athletes, like don't be afraid to work for free or be the assistant and soak up game from other coaches that have been doing it longer than you.
Straight up.
I still do that to this day. Like, some of the best trainers in the city, I'll sit there and like, their fighter hit me up to work with them, and I'll just like listen to whatever they got to say, and I'll watch them work the corner. I'll watch them in sparring. I'll watch them, just have them shadow boxing or hitting the heavy bag, and I'm really soaking up game.
Yeah.
I still do that to this day. So
Right.
you got to be humble and really come at it from a place of, I don't know shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Wanting to learn. I need to learn more. Yeah. Absolutely, man. Last question for you. Where do you see big opportunities for coaches, especially in our space, boxing coaches, up in the future? Is there anything like, where do you see the game going kind of in the future a little bit? Is there anything you're seeing on the horizon that coaches should be looking out for?
Man, I mean, it's tough because the market is saturated.